Welcome to the show, Mr. Vishwas Mahajan.
It's very nice to be here.
Let's start by understanding what is your venture all about.
So as you know, Sunil, I'll set the context. The services economy in general is a very large part of the global economy, right? And I mean, services economy consists of lots of things. Part of that is what you call as professional services. Professional services is what? Professional services is when people, with their intellect, their knowledge, their skills, and their time that is available to them, actually do certain work, specialized work, which converts into a deliverable or an IP or project of some sort, right? So in the professional services, the business model is that you convert these things, time, intellect, skill, into value. Now, once you understood what is the input and what is output, what is all in the middle, which processes this, is what is called as professional services automation, or PSA. And Gartner has very well defined this terminology. So what Whizible is a PSA. It's a professional services automation platform. And what we do is we work with organizations that are in these types of businesses and create an entire system for them to deliver their projects, optimize their revenue, increase their utilization of their resources, and such benefits that accrue to them. So today what happens is that we are currently working with a few verticals. One is we are working with the IT services vertical. The other vertical we work with is called the engineering design or engineering R&D. And a third vertical, which is really BFSI, but BFSI in their own internal service delivery operations. So unlike the first two, which actually are in the business of providing services, the BFSI is providing banking services or insurance services, but they have their own large internal teams and we work with them. So we provide the overall governance model for them. We provide the ability for them to deploy the right resources to meet the incoming demand in terms of the skills, availability, and the costs and things like that. We actually allow the projects to be created, tasks to be created, delivered to the people. We allow for the time and status of those tasks to be captured. We then take it to the billing models, whether they bill on time, they bill on fixed price, or they're just internal service departments, so they don't bill at all. So entire value chain we cover from the time initiation of a work or project happens until the billing happens. But that is just a part of it. While this delivery is happening, there are lots of things that happen. You need to manage issues that come up. You need to help customers, support them. You need to manage the quality parameters because many of these delivery systems have ISO or other quality. So we manage the entire thing in terms of their professional services delivery. So that's what we do with Whizible.
Whizible is in multiple verticals. What is that one area that you think is your leading, where you lead, whether it is BFSI or IT? Which part is that where you get the maximum?
That's a great question. Actually, clearly, our basic traction has been in the engineering, design, and IT services domains. For the simple reason that we manage a lot of profitability of projects and stuff like that, which is not of much consequence to the BFSI because that's not their profit center. It's just a cost center for them. But we increasingly find that the BFSI sector as well, or for that matter, any large corporate, is actually having a lot of internal services that get delivered and they need to optimize that. So while engineering, design, and IT services, IT product companies are our mainstay at this point of time, we do expect the other verticals to grow as well.
So you have about 250 plus, customers, and you've done a project worth over $180 billion. Has it all come from within India, or there are also, foreign entries that you work with?
Today, majority or most of our customers today are India based. So for example, if you work with John Deere, which is a large US engineering company, but we work with their India design center, right? So So the point there is that our current target market is India, but we do intend to go out of India and create more value because we think that we really have a great value proposition for customers across the world. So that's our goal.
You have about 20 years plus legacy. Have you come up with anything that would be of use to startups? Because you primarily work with small and medium businesses.
So actually, it is true that that we have a 20-year legacy. That was our first innings, you can call it, right? In this new innings, we are a startup ourselves, because what we have done is we have got the IP and have it is like a caterpillar moment for us. We have completely redesigned the product and going after absolutely new customers. Startups are definitely kind of customers that can benefit from our product, though our target market seems to be slightly larger companies. Just imagine the journey of a small company as it grows, right? When you are a small company, you try to do things with Excels and point tools, like free tools and things like that, right? But as you start growing, you see that this reaches a point where you cannot make sense of data coming from different tool sets, and you want an integrated tool. So that's where we come in. Typically, we have seen that when companies grow to 50 or little over 50 is when they start to feel the pinch. The smaller companies or the startups that have got our product deployed are the ones that have really visionary founders and CEOs who have been there, done that, and they know that they're going to hit this roadblock, and they don't want to start that when they hit the roadblock. So they started from the beginning. So we do have smaller startup type of companies who are small right now, but they have committed to the platform because they know that this becomes their platform to scale from. So that's the way we see it.
For startups who are listening to this interview, and if they have to say, okay, we might be able to use your service, what would be a typical ticket size? So
we are a per user per month SaaS product, right? And our price is like less than $10 per user per month in India. So it's actually it doesn't matter if you're a 20 people company, just multiply. If you're 200, just multiply. So it's actually very, very low entry barrier for any young company to get into. And we are a young company ourselves. This is our in the New York, we are a very very young company. So we realize the pains of being a startup. But being startup doesn't mean being unorganized, right? So if you have intention of being an organized player, scale, then putting the right processes and the right tool set to make that happen becomes very important. And that's where we are very happy to work with startups that we are currently working with.
As a company, where is your key business coming from? Is it urban India? Is it tier 2, tier 3 cities, and any particular geography? I mean, if you can tell us about the geography.
As I said, we are selling primarily in India. We are not selling outside of India at this point of time, though that is what our ambition is. Wherever with the COVID, really, it has become distributed. Most of our customers are actually located. I mean, the decision makers are located in large cities, typically Bangalore, Coimbatore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, and stuff like that. But we see the users with COVID, what has happened is that the need to deliver the expectations in terms of work and tasks to the people who are located anywhere has become, very, very pronounced, right? I mean, there was a time when people used to sit in one big office and the project manager or the manager would kind of pretty much look over their shoulders to see what is happening. Now that's not happening anymore with people working from home. Also, the managing of expectations, delivering, the kind of work that is expected by the organization, all this is now happening in our platform. Now, because people are working from pretty much everywhere, we have people who are accessing our platform from, northeast to south, southernmost tip of Kerala, to some people from Jammu. I have not tracked the IPs of coming for a while, but these are the ones we already know, because the customers that have deployed our product their employees are now working from all over the place, right? So that actually makes it, pretty well. And so it's a basically SaaS internet dealer. It doesn't really matter where you are working from, right? I mean, it's absolutely location agnostic.
That's really good to hear, that you're getting traffic from Northeast, Jammu, places where, which are not connected with the mainland, or connected with the, with the metros.
Actually, Sunil, I think what has happened is that when we were working in the pre-COVID era, people from all these locations actually traveled to the cities and worked, right? But now with that limitation gone, the companies that are employing them have also shifted their mindset.
That's a very good one. Actually, that was the need actually.
Maybe absolutely.
COVID will help in taking the technology revolution into the far reaches of India. That's what we're going to do.
You're right, and I think the important point, Sunil, to mention here is that it's not just about the people who are working from remote locations, but the whole buying and selling processes in corporate India have gone on online. So we have experienced it firsthand because our product, if you're a large company, then it's a fairly good ticket size, and it's foundational to the way companies work. So what happens is that companies take a long time to decide, and we have salespeople and we have this and that. But now with this, we are actually able to sell completely remotely, implement completely remotely. Now, this is very consistent with a research report that McKinsey did just a couple of months ago as to how the B2B selling and buying has changed due to COVID. So the way I see it is our whole, reincarnation as a SaaS product with NLP bots and, the user experience has coincided with the COVID as well. So both these together have meant that the business model for us has changed dramatically. So we can be, our team supports a customer, our team members support from, interiors and, areas of Bhilai. There's one of our customer support executives in Bhilai. Another one is in a city called Jalna, which is like in interior Maharashtra. Now, this is all becoming very feasible, and that's actually making a game changer for everybody, I think, as an industry. But we are very happy to work with completely diverse setup. We get inquiries from locations that we never thought we would get inquiries, to be honest with you.
Very interesting. So is my understanding correct? What you're saying is because of this, the way COVID has forced companies to work from, people to go and work from remote areas, it has also helped companies like you who are in B2B to reduce the time that takes to close a deal or close, and execute a business.
So I would position it differently. I think the time is one dimension, but in the prior era, in a B2B sale with a reasonable ticket size, as you know, the salesperson will be going visiting, taking a plane, taking a train, taking a car, going on to an Uber. The productivity was always a challenge. The moment you put a salesperson in front of the customer, the productivity, because he will make one call in a day and at that cost, right?
Yeah.
Now here what has happened for us is that because we're able to do everything from remote, our efficiency has increased dramatically to do this business.
You can reach more customers with the same resource.
And at a lower cost.
The lower cost. And do you also see that your customers are open to the idea now that they get to hear about your product or hear a sales pitch or a Zoom call probably?
You won't believe this, Sunil. And I would not have believed it until it happened. I will not name the company. A very, very large, a 5,000 employees company out of Bangalore, a mid-sized IT services company. They came onto our webinar. They sent us the RFP. We did the entire sales cycle. We sold, signed contracts, did integration with their existing systems, deployed our product, implemented completely remotely in last 4.5 months.
That is amazing.
Amazing. We wouldn't have believed it ourselves had it not happened in reality. So I actually, feel that it has also helped us. So if I can sell to somebody sitting here, this size of an opportunity to somebody in Bangalore, can I not do it in Singapore? I can do that for Singapore, right? Can I not do it for Vietnam? I could do it for Vietnam, right? So I think that it has given us an opportunity or a hope or a possibility that the scalability can happen by this model if you perfect it. And there are nuances. It's not just like this, it's taken us time to get there, but I think that's a very significant change that we see happening.
And do you think once we are over this COVID crisis, a company like yours and also your customers would still use the remote sales or remote service delivery as a tool? Would that continue?
I think first of all they have tasted the blood, right? They know that they can be as productive working from home. They know that they can buy from home, they can implement from home or wherever they are located. Now it is for us to make sure that we put our processes in place so that we can actually make that happen even after COVID. And I think it's going to, it is going to happen like this. I think customers have absolutely begun to expect it. So I think that's a good sign.
As a SaaS company, what are your expectations from this budget?
So this is budget. I think, the best thing that the government can do is to make sure that, it creates conducive atmosphere. It creates, the laws and safeguards that allow Indian SaaS companies to grow. SaaS is a huge market. In fact, NASSCOM came out with a report on SaaS just in August. I'm sure you are aware of that. And that actually really talked about the potential of this to happen. There are certain laws that we have recently heard being debated, which is why are the SaaS companies, when they get investment, go out and incorporate themselves in Singapore or US or something, right? So because of certain tax laws that are specifically favorable. Now, I think the government has done somewhat, gone on the whole startup rules. There is a lot that can be done. How beautiful it would be if the laws are such that we are able to retain our IP right here in India. And you call of Atmanirbhar Bharat, but Atmanirbhar Bharat will happen when we are able to create an entire ecosystem that will support. So right from customer to investor to people to customers, everything, the whole chain, if it is sitting right here in India, we will reap the benefit. So I am only hoping that these things are reflected somehow. But really speaking, I think we have our own battle to fight. Regardless of whatever are the constraints, I think it's very fashionable to say, give us this, give us that, and all that, right? But I think we have our own battle to fight. We have to create a mind share with the customers. We have to make sense to them. And we have to survive in the market and grow regardless of whatever the laws surrounding us. We want to be here in India and we want to grow from India. That's our goal.
So finally, coming to the end, we are a channel for startups and MSMEs. When you hear about us, what we're doing, how we're showcasing startups and MSMEs, what are your first thoughts?
I think if MSMEs and startups need one thing more than anything else, is their ability to get in front of the customers, the prospects, the government, the influencers. And if this organization, My Startup TV, is able to do that, I think it's a great service you're doing. Because this is not something you can necessarily buy with money. This is something that you are doing so much effort to go out in the market, popularize this. I would say that I have seen the interviews that you have taken on this channel, and I have seen the way you are going about promoting it, going about creating the buzz. I think it's an idea whose time has come. You have to be able to take startups and take them out. I think this will play very well into the whole story of scaling startups out of India. It's a subject very dear to me. I have myself been quite an active in the whole startup world. So I think this is a great thing you're doing. Video as a communication medium has really catapulted the whole experience for the people. So while there are channels, there are digital media channels, there are publications are available. I think your channel is bringing primarily through video. It's a video channel. It's a video only channel, right?
Yes.
So that actually is a very important thing. I would only say that, you know, if you can make sure that what you are doing to capture this content, you're capturing good amount of content, how that now can become a powerhouse that you can spread it out and you know, generate the kind of buzz that this channel truly deserves. I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hosting you on other shows. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunil. Nice meeting you.